All right, so to continue, guys, to improve the transfers, it all comes down to, of course, two things: qualifying the interest and identifying whether it's a good time to transfer in the moment, right? So I put it here all in the document. So the short version, right, is trying to get them to answer this question: why is this important? Besides claiming we can achieve similar results to results we've achieved before for other companies, like hundreds of leads for Windows and Doors company and others, the next logical step is to focus them on their own desire, right? And that's why it's important to get some sort of interest confirmation from them, right? Ask them whether they're looking to grow in the next 3 months or maybe even half a year. But if there's no pain with the existing situation or no desire, it's really hard to um, channel or connect our solution or any other next step to anything. Like I said before, it's very hard to sell dog food to someone who doesn't have a dog, right? And as one famous copywriter once said, the biggest factor to making the campaign work, or the biggest factor to selling anything, is a hungry crowd. Like if you have a burger stand, what is the number one factor to making it successful? And the story went like people were saying it has to be a good recipe, good marketing, good pricing, quality, taste, this, that, the other thing. While in reality, the biggest factor is a hungry crowd. Like if you put this burger stand in the middle of a huge concert or a sports event, it will sell out because people are hungry. There's a burger stand, they are gonna buy it. So the biggest factor is identifying desire or pain. And that's why asking if they're looking to grow at all, if they could take more jobs, that's the first step. And then before transfer, you could use this short version of getting them to answer this question, right? What are we adding? Like, what are we looking to add? Like another 20, 30,000 a month in revenue, more like 100K. Uh, Throwing a range of specific numbers is an easy question to answer for the prospect, right? And for you to understand what kind of size of a company you're dealing with. Like 20, 30,000 is not much for them. 100K is a realistic number they could imagine themselves adding to the business. Then you can work with like this number or even tone it down. You say, yeah, 100K would be okay. Yeah, would be good. You could say, well, if we only had 50, would that make you happy? No? Would that be great for your business? And if they say, yeah, then you can say, well, we can definitely help you achieve that. And in terms of pricing, it's going to be like a fraction of that cost. So if that makes sense to spend $1 to get $10, $20 back, then let's continue the conversation and then you can start transferring them. And this is basically a script that you can use to talk about it, right? That's the short version over here, and that's the long version, right? And that's like an emulation of the call, but you can use these pieces of text to basically follow and ask those questions, right? You get room to grow. Let's pin down what growing actually means for you, because everything depends on that, because it changes everything. How many more jobs would you want? Not what you'd like settle for, but like what would make it a great year, right? And wait for the answer. So you get either a number of jobs or dollar value. Continue and get to basically a dollar value. That's ideal because it's easy to talk numbers after that. Like if you know that number, then you can transfer it, then you can provide that information to Kevin or to another closer. So that's a script you can use, pieces of it or all of it to talk about this. And that goes further, obviously. So I suggest you either print it out or have it on your screen. And if they just keep asking about the price, right? You can use this variation. Just tell me what it costs. You can say, admit that it's okay for them to want to know the price, right? But also confirm that it's meaningful unless we understand what the value of that number is. And it's hard to predict the value unless we understand like which services we're going after, which locations we're going after, then we can make an estimate, and tell them exactly what it would take, how long it would take for them to basically start getting those ideal leads, landing those ideal jobs. Okay. And one of the phrases, that's why I like bolded it, that you could use, that that's that's the game, that's what we're focusing on. The whole game is just one question. Does it make sense to invest $1 to get 10 or 20 back? If they agree that it makes sense, then it's only natural to continue the conversation. Okay, so that's the deeper specific qualification.